We are now going to talk about the second important aspect of Chapter 2, which is the indifference or utility curve. So the first question that we have to ask ourselves is, what is utility? As mentioned in the previous video, utility is the amount of satisfaction that we derive from the consumption of a particular good. In the case of Chapter 2, it is the amount of utility that is derived from the consumption of a bundle of X and Y. And to be more precise in economic terms, we do not use the word satisfaction. Instead, we will use the word utility instead. The word satisfaction is meant as a placebo for you to understand what is the concept of utility. So do not use the word satisfaction. So different bundles of goods will give you different levels of utility. For example, if you have a bundle of 10x and 20y, this will give you more utility than a bundle of 5x and 10y. Well, this is most obvious because if I've got 10x and 20y at point A over here, compared to point B, I would have more goods to consume. Therefore, I have a higher utility. At point A, I am better off than at point B. So now I'm just going to imagine that I'm originally at point A and I want to compare with different types of bundles to see whether I'm better off or worse off. We have already established that point B will make me worse off. Point C obviously will make me better off because I have more of both goods. Now, what about point D? Well, I might be indifferent between point A and point D because of my preferences, and that is the same for point E as well. So that is what the utility curve is trying to tell us. Are points D and E worse off or better off for this consumer? I would now like to introduce to you the measurement unit for utility. Now, we measure utility using utils. It's like the number of liters for water, right? But the thing about utils is that it is an unobservable unit, which means that we can't see it. It is totally impossible for us to see how many utils somebody has. I mean, are you able to measure satisfaction? You can't. So that's why economists have came up with two types of utility. Now, the first type of utility is called cardinal utility. Well, using cardinal utility for economic analysis might not be that realistic because it actually measures the magnitude or size of utility in terms of utils, which we mentioned is unobservable. So using cardinal utility to analyze an economic situation would be something like this. If I take the amount of utility from having 10x and 20y and I minus that by the utility of 5x and 10y, I should have 100 utils. Is this possible? It is not. How do you measure that? And this is the reason why we use ordinal utility for economic analysis. Ordinal comes from the word order. So what ordinal utility does is that it ranks the different bundles of X and Y. So it doesn't matter how much more utility one consumer derives from a different bundle. So just let me give you an example. What we care about is that the utility from 1020 is more than the utility from 510 and is more than the utility of 12. So this is an example of ordinal utility, which is what we are going to use for our analysis. So let's move on to the more important question. What is the indifference curve? Well, it is a graph that shows the many different bundles of good X and good Y, and this is the most important part, which the consumer derives the same amount of utility from all the different bundles. So therefore, the consumer is indifferent. He has got the same amount of utils for both bundles B1 and bundles B2. So for example, if a consumer has got a choice between 10x and 20y versus 30x and 15y, he can be indifferent between these two. So what we call this is indifference between two bundles of goods. And at Quickonomics, we are particular about how certain graphs and concepts are being derived. So we are going to go through how we derive the indifference curve.
Thanks for watching a sample of the Quickonomics online learning experience. We hope you've enjoyed it. We believe that true happiness lies in realizing ambitions and dreams. That's why we make our products specific to your needs, simple to understand and captivating, so that you can learn effectively while saving time, realizing those ambitions and dreams. The Quickonomics online learning experience is a range of supplementary lectures, tutorials, and exam solutions in the form of videos, which you can conveniently view anytime, anywhere. Watching our videos before and after your regular lessons at school We aim to give you joy in learning and build academic confidence at the comfort of your own relaxed learning environment. So how can you begin? We welcome you to purchase Quickie Dollars to redeem the videos for full access to the Quickonomics online learning experience. Thank you for starting with Quickonomics.